Correspondent Andy Joyson is at Pinderfield. Andy, first of all, what can you tell us at this stage?
Tonight, a 2-hour crime investigation, Midsummer Murders from 9. Now, Canada with Mike Morris and Krista Ackroyd.
Hello, welcome to Calendar. It's Friday the 1st of September.
Tonight's top story, lucky to be alive, the man who cheated death on Britain's biggest roller coaster.
They're off the menu why Eurocrats say fish cakes a bad taste.
And ready for the off, the trainer who's poised to make history this weekend.
And I'll be in Denby Dale where they're making the biggest meat and potato pie in the world tomorrow. And this is just part of the dish they're going to cook it in.
But first tonight, an inquest has been opened into the deaths of 2 girls who were knocked down and killed by a car which was being chased by police.
Best friends Angela Ovington and Susan Briggs were walking home after a night out with 2 friends when the car ploughed into them. Calendar's Georgia has this report. Yummy,
Thanks,
yummy.
Chris.
Thanks very much, Chris. Now, you thought Chris had been away on holiday. In fact, you've been working yourself to the bone,
I
haven't
can't tell you what I've been doing. I've been building, I've been painting. Why have I been doing that?
Painting, carpenting.
Why have I been doing that?
I'm about to say this. We're going to have a spring clean over the weekend.
Doing that. You see, that's the trouble, isn't it? Just when we're getting a report that I'm interested in, all the machines break down.
Good night and God bless me, old fellas.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good night.
YTV Weather, sponsored by Yorkshire Electricity.
Hello, good evening. Well, as expected, some places stayed dry today, but there were some pretty heavy downpours around. Rumbles of thunder too around Ripon, Thirsk, Doncaster and Gainsborough, amongst other places. Now, the low which gave those heavy downpours today will be somewhere over Denmark tomorrow, and unfortunately that means that the winds are going to swing round into the north or northwest, and that'll keep it on the cool side. Sunday not too bad, but by the beginning of next week high pressure is taking over, so that'll give us a couple of days of fine weather. But back to this evening, still some heavy downpours around, still a risk of 1 or 2 rumbles of thunder and just the odd sunny interval coming through. During tonight the showers will tend to die away inland, but during the latter part of the night some showers again turning up, more especially east of the Wolds. Lowest temperature tonight around 10 or 11 degrees Celsius, not terribly cold, but those winds eventually swinging round to the northwest. Sun times tomorrow, it rises at 6:17 in the morning and sets at 7:53 tomorrow evening. Now tomorrow it's going to be a mostly cloudy day, I think. The best of any sunny breaks will be probably in the morning towards the Pennines there. Always a threat of some showers coming through, and some of those towards the east coast could be prolonged. Again, 1 or 2 sunny breaks developing later on tomorrow afternoon, more especially I think up towards the Dales. Top temperature tomorrow, well, disappointing. 16 Celsius is the best we can expect, and as I say, out and about in that north and northwesterly wind, it will feel distinctly on the cool side. Sunday's a better day though, small chance of a shower towards the coast, but in the west especially, some nice spells of sunshine. Enjoy the weekend, here's a summary.
For a 5-day outlook, call our weather line on 09068 55 9988.
He's in need of some serious healing. And he's looking to get it.
I've spent an hour trying to find the toilets.
Up the Orient. Paul O'Grady's Orient. Bank holiday at 10.
Fear of more violence as loyalists bury their dead. Jury says former paratrooper was unlawfully killed in custody. Silencing their critics, the Russian mother sedated by doctors. And Keegan keeps faith with Euro 2000 flops.
From ITN, the ITV Nightly News with Mark Austin.
Good evening. There are fears of escalating violence on the streets of Belfast tonight as security has stepped up on the Shankill.
Power, Jim. Power, whatever the weather.
Julie, I've got something to tell you.
Mark?
Mark Reynolds? Yes? I know what you did last night.
What's going on, Mark?
Julie doesn't know. She doesn't know that you watch ITV2 with Sunset Beach, Emmerdale, Jerry Springer, David Letterman.
Oh, Mark.
A nice hand for Mark.
More and more people are discovering ITV2, total entertainment. ITV2 is free with digital TV through an aerial or any of these cable services.
Baby girl.
Now a little later than usual, Thursday evening's local news.
Good evening and welcome to Calendar. Tonight's top stories. Christopher Alder killed unlawfully while in police custody. And safety warnings after an adventure ends in tragedy for two young girls. A jury's decided that Christopher Alder, who died in police custody in Hull, was killed unlawfully.
Catapulted to fame on Stars in Their Eyes, Ian Moore's embarking on a new and exciting career.
This kid's got a voice. Where do I sign?
Encouraged by his family, his fans, and this man.
Good boy.
He takes the stage for his first concert.
Ian's got it. It's gone well, so can't do anything more now except go and do the job.
The Man with Stars in His Eyes at 10:30 and the concert at 11:30 this Friday on Yorkshire. Late night celebrity chat with David Letterman over on ITV2 in 10 minutes. Here, a few minutes later than advertised, Alan Hydes chats to David Hockney as he returns to Bradford to paint the stage.
You can rely on this show to see the mighty fall.
We all make mistakes.
With all the hits from the cock-up world.
I've been filmed, you great pillock.
And now we're serving up the cream of clips that'll keep you laughing. It'll be all right on the night 11, Bank Holiday Monday at 9, ITV. Ian Wright's been busy listening to your voices. After a huge audition, 5 have been chosen as the best in Britain. On Saturday, you could change one of their lives forever. They will perform live. You will choose the best. And the winner gets serious money. They're all great singers, but one of them is one song away from fame and fortune. This is my moment. The song's at 7:35. The phone vote results at 10:35. Saturday on ITV.
Now, do the young, gifted and broke need an agent, venue or just cash?
P.C. Smith, the hard man of the bill. Not the kind of bloke you describe as a caring, sensitive police officer. Social deprivation? That's a laugh. To him, all criminals are scum. He's no angel. But that could be about to change. Lullaby, a 3-part story, The Bill, Friday at 8.
We're back to tonight here on ITV in half an hour See the UK, but next, heartfelt video requests when this one's for you.
Over until it's over.
Now for Belgium.
It's always been my favourite track.
Live this weekend, ITV.
An apology, an I love you, or just a missed opportunity, whatever the message, this one for you provides the perfect platform to do it from. Music from A1 and Spiller. It's CD UK with Emma Bunton and Dermot O'Leary joining Kat on presenting duties. In an hour here on ITV World Football, but first we're off to Studio 2 for some top performances, including A1 with another chance to catch CD UK.
Hi, there's fun, there's CD UK.
World Football's here in just a few moments, but first from the studios of ICN, the latest ITV news with Sharon Gray.
Good morning. An investigation is underway.
In half an hour here on ITV, World Sports Special. That's after a roundup of global events in world football. Good morning, this is ITV. Looking ahead to this evening here on ITV, and at 8 o'clock in the first of a three-part The Bill Lullaby. Dale Smith becomes a father figure, the boy, while looking into the disappearance of his parents. That's at 8 o'clock. Now, from the studios of ITN, the latest ITV news headlines with Sharon Gray. Now, news and information on ITV programmes with the ITV Night Screen.
You're watching Anglia Television.
In Anglia News this lunchtime, the Thomas Marshall murder trial. The case against Kevin Roberts draws to a close. The test of time, how a familiar clock got a special clean-up. And the landlord and his happy Christmas tree. Could it be the new Christmas #1? Good afternoon. The judge in the Thomas...
These chats go all the way.
Live action Wednesday at 7:30.
You're watching Anglia Television with the main lunchtime news now at 12:30.
On HTV, a look behind the fashion scene is just one of today's features on This Morning. Remember, it's now time for the national news of Wales with Hugh Weeks.
Good afternoon. The headlines in Wales this lunchtime. Rail death, 2 people are questioned by police. Tracking down the smugglers, success for the customs men. Yeah, the taste of success, but is there enough for Welsh business? Police are still quite...
It's 6 o'clock. You're watching HTV. It's time for the national news of Wales.
This is HTV News. Good evening, I'm Jonathan Hill.
And I'm Lucy Cohen. Tonight's main stories.
An outbreak of deadly Legionnaire's disease is centred on this hotel.
Has the wheel come off the Welsh economy? Predictions that more factories will close.
Plus, waiting lists look healthier, but what's the prognosis?
And why happy times could become just happy memories at Sandy Bay.
Two people have died in an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease in South...
Fruit and flowers, all the rivalry of a typical village show.
Cumbrian prisoner serving a life sentence for murder is on the run, and the Borders textile company up for sale just weeks after being taken over. Also in the programme tonight, British Nuclear Fuels is told to take 3 wagons out of service after a derailment near Sellafield last week.
A lorry driver's in hospital after he was trapped under his vehicle. And a call for millions of pounds of investment in roads across the south of Scotland.
Police in the north of England are on the lookout for a Cumbrian prisoner.
Good evening to you.
Now on Anglia, the stories hitting the headlines across the region. Now on Anglia, we bring you up to date with world affairs. You're watching HTV at 6 o'clock. Now reporting for the West, from the West, HTV News with Kevin Owen and Jane Secker.
Guns down in Athens. A diplomat from the West is assassinated in his car.
The pain of kidney failure. This woman claims doctors missed it 3 times.
And the baby boom that's crowding out Noah's Ark. Hello, very good evening. There's been worldwide...
Tonight starts with Bruce's Price is Right. That's followed by Coronation Street. At 8, the Real Car Show, then police camera action. Then the last in the series of The Thing About Vince. Paul O'Grady's Oriental Travels continue with a trip to Bali at 10. Then Textile Tales concludes with a Border Stories special looking back at the history of Borders fabrics.
Selling single, Save Your Love, La Svolare, Che Sarà Sarà, Ave Maria, and many, many more. Capture the romance and charm of Italy on 20 great Italian love songs from Telstar at your record store now.
This is Yorkshire Television with the news at 1.
This is the news at 1 from ITN with Leonard Parkin.
Hello, good afternoon. The Conservative Election Manifesto out this morning promises tough new laws on the unions and the abolition of the Greater London Council and Metropolitan Councils. In a foreword, Mrs. Thatcher says of unemployment, the answer is not bogus social contracts and government overspending. Today, she called the manifesto a robust and responsible programme. Mr. Foote called it more of the same shameful policies of the last 4 years. Other points from the morning press conferences. Mr. Steele says the economy is stuck on the bottom. Mr. Bill Rogers of the SDP talks of a union takeover of Labour's campaign, turning much of the country into what he called a new Grenada land. And Mr. Foote himself, Labour agreement with the unions isn't a pay policy. Other stories today, pay rises are still higher than the rate of inflation. The Penlee lifeboat disaster inquiry finds no one to blame. And the Princess of Wales opens a new £18 million bridge between Gateshead and Newcastle. But first, the Conservative Manifesto, which was launched by Mrs. Thatcher this morning. Prominent among its proposals are secret ballots for the election of trade union officers and on major strikes, a change. Other news, pay settlements are still running well ahead of inflation, according to the latest figures from both the government and the CBI. And that's the news at 1. Next from ITN Today, news at 5:45. For the moment, from all of us here, goodbye.
Good afternoon and welcome to the regional news from Callander. A fireman is recovering in hospital today after being badly injured while fighting a blaze at Bramley in Leeds. He was badly cut by falling glass as he climbed a ladder to reach a first-floor room. The fire broke out at 2 o'clock this morning, and when firemen reached the house, which is split into separate flats, the first-floor bedroom was well alight. The room was extensively damaged, and the residents in neighbouring flats were evacuated as a precaution. Firemen were today investigating the cause of the blaze. In Barnsley, fire swept through one of the town's largest supermarkets early today. The fire broke out in the stockroom of Leo's store and caused extensive damage to the shopping area. Thousands of pounds worth of goods were destroyed, and the store will be closed for more than a week. The fire was caused by an electrical fault. A mother and her daughter were treated for burns and shock after lightning struck houses in a Lincolnshire village. Kate Hooper and her daughter Sharon, 15, were in their kitchen in Laurel Close, Donington, near Spalding at the time. The lightning also blew up a television set in a neighbour's house. An explosion and fire seriously damaged the kitchen of a house in Halifax today. James and Margaret Flint were upstairs when the explosion occurred at their home in All Souls Road, Healy Hill. Mrs. Flint was taken to hospital for treatment for shock, and the couple's dog was slightly injured during the blast. The build-up of gas from a leaking connection to a gas fridge is thought to have caused the explosion. Detectives are investigating alleged fraud involving members of the Labour Party on Stainforth Parish Council near Doncaster. It's been alleged that £500 from a community fundraising scheme was switched to fight local elections for the Labour Party. The Labour Party has denied the charge and say that the funds were used entirely for the benefit of the community. Tenants of land owned by North Yorkshire County Council today lobbied councillors arriving for a meeting at North Allerton. They were protesting about plans by the council to sell off some of their small holdings as they become vacant through the tenant's death or retirement. At present, the council usually offer the tenancy to another member of the family. The tenants are being backed by the National Farmers Union, who say if council approve the change of policy today, it will be a serious blow for their members. And the Conservative Party have pledged to abolish the 6 metropolitan county councils, including West and South Yorkshire, if they win the election. In their manifesto published today, the Tories say the councils are wasteful and unnecessary. Recently, the Labour-controlled West Yorkshire Council claimed it would cost £8 million a year to transfer the services they currently control to other authorities. A popular refuge for hikers and cyclists in the Yorkshire Dales has been demolished. The 60-year-old white wood and cement cafe at Stump Cross Caverns was no longer needed. The refuge on the Pateley Bridge to Grassington Road has been replaced by a £100,000 tourist centre built over the entrance to the old caverns. 3 tower blocks of flats in Scunthorpe Town Centre, housing 200 families, could be demolished. Scunthorpe Council's Housing Committee are holding an emergency meeting tonight to discuss what to do with the 30-year-old flats. Structurally in flats, 580 cement. 7 antique pieces were stolen yesterday during viewing time at Henry Spencer's auction rooms. Finally, cricket, and there's been no play before lunch in the Benson and Hedges Cup match at Headingley, but a further pitch inspection is being carried out about now. Yorkshire need another 136 runs to win.
Here is the weather forecast for our...
Tasty, tasty, very, very tasty.
Kellogg's Bran Flakes.
You know, this could catch on.
On Where There's Life tonight, we've got some film about a group of men who went halfway around the world to find a suitable wife. And we ask a simple question: was their journey really necessary? Watch Where There's Life tonight at 7.
This is Yorkshire Television. It's the news now at 5:45 from ITN.
The news at 5:45 with Michael Nicholson.
Mrs. Thatcher calls her manifesto robust and adventurous. The Penley lifeboat inquiry says no one's to blame. And how the Geordies and Peters created the Trilby Princess. Good evening. The Prime Minister has launched the Tories' election manifesto by promising to stick to her guns and give Britain a brighter future. She also promises that the Greater London Council and all 6 metropolitan councils will be abolished, and that there'll be trade union reforms, including secret ballots for them. It was a wonderful honour. And that's it from ITN this Wednesday evening. Next from ITN is, of course, our Channel 4 News. That's at 7 o'clock. But from all of us here on the 5:45 until tomorrow, bye-bye.
About to begin on Channel 4, another half hour of crazy comedy featuring the Munsters. Meanwhile, here on Yorkshire Television, there's a roundup of the regional news now and the weather forecast with the calendar team.
Hello, welcome to Calendar on yet another really dreadful day for weather. Few parts of the region escaped a drenching at some time during the day. Eric, this really is getting beyond a joke now. I mean, why is it? What's happening? It's chucking it down all day. We'll talk to you later about the forecast, but what is happening?
Well, as far as the weather's concerned, for the next 2 or 3 days, it's just like that old hymn tune. Tell me the old story.
But what's happening? Why have we got all this rain?
Well, it's all due to an area of low pressure down, first of all, to the south of Ireland, then reaching into the Bristol Channel. It's very, very slow-moving indeed. And these showers, thunderstorms, or the prolonged rain areas are just drifting around in the circulation of the low.
So what is it? Why are they so stable? Why are they staying there?
Well, it's just that the whole weather pattern over the Atlantic and over Europe is in a very slow-moving belt. And until a high pressure builds to the west of us, until changes take place in the upper atmosphere, this low pressure area will not get away from us.
I mean, some people have said it's going to take a typhoon or something to blow it all away.
I believe we can put those words down to Jack Scott, but yes, that might do it. But until, in the absence of a typhoon, I'm afraid we're stuck with this low pressure area. The best we can hope for is that it will slowly fill and gradually move to east of us. But this could take some time.
Well, I mean, the Met Office has also said something about it being the sun being too strong, and then other people are saying that it's volcanoes that are causing it all. I mean, can that be true?
Well, it is all due to natural phenomena, yes. But while we're having this bad weather here, other parts of Europe are indeed having lots of sunshine and high temperatures.
So what's going wrong? I mean, is the whole world going topsy-turvy?
Well, it would appear so at the moment. I look at the general satellite picture over Africa. There's very down there. I'm afraid I'm sure the spring will come along.
We have more from the news now, and a fireman was badly injured whilst fighting a blaze at Bramley in Leeds. He was badly cut by falling glass as he climbed a ladder to reach a first-floor room. The fire broke out at 2 o'clock this morning, and when firemen reached the house, which is split into separate flats, a first-floor bedroom was well alight. The room was extensively damaged, and the residents in neighbouring flats were evacuated as a precaution. Firemen were today investigating the cause of that blaze. And in Barnsley, fire swept through one of the town's largest supermarkets early today. The fire broke out in the stockroom of Leo's store, and it caused extensive damage to the shopping area. Thousands of pounds worth of goods were destroyed, and the store will be closed for more than a week. The fire was caused by an electrical fault. The Bishop of Bradford, the Right Reverend Geoffrey Paul, is in hospital after collapsing at his home. He's undergoing tests, and he's expected to be in the Duke of York nursing home for several. But if steel capacity in Britain falls much further, it could lead to the death of the EEC and other steel producers. That's it for now. Jeff.
The Conservative Party published their election manifesto today, and it included some strong words about the future of these 6 metropolitan county councils, and those include West and South Yorkshire. The manifesto says the metropolitan councils have been shown to be a wasteful and unnecessary tier of government, and it adds that they have developed responsibilities in excess of their functions. Well, to discuss those criticisms and the future of the metropolitan county councils, we have with us in the studio tonight the Labour leader of West Yorkshire County Council, John Gunnell, the leader of the Conservative group on South Yorkshire County Council, Irvin Patnick, and the leader of the Liberals on Bradford District Council, Paul Hockney himself. former county councillor.
Have that before they go to the
Well,
ballot
the
box.
debate will continue. For the moment, gentlemen, party political broadcast or not, we must leave it there. Thank you very much.
Well, now, after all that talk, let's take a break. In part 2, amongst other things, the oldest swinger in York. Join us then.
Welcome back, and more news now. Strikes at 2 pits in the Doncaster area look set to continue. At Rossington Colliery, 1,200 miners have rejected a management peace formula and no further talks are planned. Their action is over the alleged bully boy tactics used by a colliery deputy. And at Asken Colliery, a mass meeting voted to continue their week-old strike. That action is over bonuses. Miners claim that the agreed bonus scheme has been altered by a new manager. The strikers don't plan to meet again until the weekend. So far, the strikes have cost the coal board a total of £2 million in lost production.
Tenants of land owned by North Yorkshire County Council won a partial victory at today's council meeting. Around 60 tenants lobbied councillors at North Allerton before the meeting began. They're protesting at plans to sell off some of their small holdings as they become vacant through the tenant's death or retirement. At present, the tenancy is usually offered to another member of the family. But in a surprise move, the council agreed to defer their decision until it was reconsidered by a subcommittee.
Meanwhile, at Cawthorne near Barnsley, a young farmer who had hoped to succeed his father as a tenant is now faced with joining the dole queue, as Alan Hardrick reports.
Mr. Robert Clegg and his family say they'll have to move in.
The Harrogate Conference Centre has proved a success, according to the Resort Services Department. In 1982, a total of 152,000 visitors attended conferences at the centre, bringing some £30 million into the town. From Harrogate, Sita Gunaratna reports.
Harrogate's controversial conference centre has proved a success, according to the Resort Services Department. They estimate that it's brought £30 million into the town in the past 12 months.
Obviously, it's one of the major industries of the town, conference and exhibitions.
Now, as the conference centre was being built, there was a certain amount of controversy, people saying that it was too expensive and wasn't worth it. Do you feel now that these figures have exonerated the decision to build it?
Well, that would be a difficult question to answer, I suppose. The building is controversial in the cost. I believe it's a vocal minority. The people that come here, the residents and the ratepayers, are very proud of the building, and this comes through all the time now. Sort of events we've had here, not only conferences but entertainment events and orchestral events, have proved very successful. And I tell you, we've sold out for Howard Keel this Saturday and Diane Warwick further on. And even today we're going through a press call with Freddie Starr for 8 concerts with Freddie Starr in the centre. So it's not only conferences, it is a centre for the ratepayers of the district, and I say they're very proud of it.
A total of 540 conferences have been held here in the past year, and more international conferences are planned for later this year.
The new rail service between Penistone and Sheffield, which opened this week, has already run into trouble with bus drivers in Barnsley. Buses have to travel over a railway crossing to get into the bus station. Now that the line is being fully used, the crossing gates are closed an extra 14 times a day. Passengers are complaining that the
Power Service will be used by the City Council for help, but it's unlikely that a decision will be made before the money runs out. It costs about £800 a month to run, but it earns between £300 and £400 a month from the sale of produce.
2 West Yorkshire police officers who revived a small child suffering from convulsions are to receive awards from the Royal Humane Society. Constables Trevor Taylor and Roger Hinchcliffe were on traffic patrol near Dewsbury when they were stopped by the parents of the 10-month-old girl. She'd swallowed her own tongue and appeared to have stopped breathing, but the policeman cleared her throat and revived her.
The curtain goes up tonight on a new opera based on a living Yorkshire legend which has been written specially for the Leeds Youth Opera Group. Roger Greenwood reports.
The opera's called The Penny Hedge. It's based on...
Finally, a popular refuge for hikers and cyclists in the Yorkshire Dales has been demolished. It's a cafe at Stumpcross Caverns.
Well, now, at the beginning of the programme, we heard the weatherman Eric Hall telling us what's been happening, but now let's hear him telling Marilyn what's going to happen.
Go on, Eric, tell us the worst.
Well, about the best I can say, Marilyn, is that the unsettled conditions are going to continue. During today, most parts of the region have had showers, thunderstorms, hailstones, some places having more than an inch of rain. A look at the satellite picture will show us the reason for this. There's the area of low pressure to the southwest of the Bristol Channel. It's moving very slowly eastwards, but these bands of cloud circulating around the low have been bringing this violent weather to us. And a look at tomorrow's forecast chart. There's the area of low pressure edging its way gradually into England, filling slightly, but one nasty thing about it, easterly winds gradually coming into the coast. So, putting some detail onto tonight's weather, first of all, the showers, thunderstorms over most parts of the region will gradually die out during the course of the night. But as these easterly winds set in, bringing low cloud onto the moors, the wolds, the lower parts of the Pennines, becoming generally misty and foggy by the end of the night. So in brief for tonight, showers and thunderstorms dying out, misty later, minimum temperature 6 degrees centigrade. And then going on to tomorrow, first of all, the low cloud has got to clear, and then gradually some sunny intervals develop by the end of the morning. But unfortunately, further showers and thunderstorms coming along. Coastal areas may well escape the worst of the showers, but generally inland, showers and storms by the afternoon. And out on the coast, patches of fog or low cloud coming in off the sea, giving fog patches from time to time. So in general tomorrow, sunny intervals, showers developing, maximum 16 centigrade inland, but on the northern part of the coast, only 12 degrees centigrade with fog patches at times.
Great big depression that stays and stays.
Unfortunately, Marilyn, that's the case, yes.
Thank you, Eric.
There are more unrelieved gloom. Well, now, as more and more of us become obsessed with the unequal battle to keep fit and lose weight, some unlikely forms of exercise are becoming ever more popular. First there was jogging, then aerobics, and then disco dancing. But I rather fear that the excesses of Saturday night fever are strictly left for a generation younger than mine. Anyway, Sina Gunaratne has been to see the latest challenge to John Travolta.
The light of day. Swear you died it when you hear.
Ah, what a mover. Anyway, that's just about it. Join us again tomorrow at 6 when we'll be bringing you Bonnie Tyler's latest song and tuning into a special band of CB addicts. So it's 10:10. We're all taking our handles home until it's time to do it again.
It's a sight to see us on the road. It was vehicles of every shape and size. You certainly had grown. Listening to the sound of the M1 rolled away. The biggest booming convoy outside the USA.
Hello, plastic chicken to Super Scout, get off. I mean, come in, come on. Oh, do I have to say this every time?
Yeah, I've been seeing any bus boxes. That's slang for police cars.
Jack and Dory Super Scout, that's like the dough.
That's negatory, you bear.
Oh, say, is this a private convoy? Can anyone join in?
What's your wheels are, kid?
Would you believe a camper?
Spaghetti Junction was coming up.
Entertainment for Wednesday evening on Yorkshire Television. At 7 o'clock, Where There's Life, with Miriam Stoppard continuing to look at life in the East and the region's more unusual customs. Followed at 7:30 by Coronation Street and a video date there.
Oh, no, dear me, no. Mention my name, they'll treat you like Rosie. Sarlo. I'll go this after. This after what? You're working this after? I'll go in my shopping hour.
And then at 8, Peter Marshall invites us to one of the glamorous highlights of the year.
The British Beauty Championships 1983, when we will be finding Miss England, Miss Scotland and Miss Wales. So join us for that special occasion on ITV.
At 9:10 in our final journey inside China, we meet the nomadic Kazakhs who, on the borders of Tibet and Mongolia, eke out a sparse living within the communist ideal. An ideal which nevertheless ensures that their work finds buyers throughout the country. Then at 10:45, midweek sports features middleweight boxing from the Bloomsbury Crestville. And as the FA Cup final approaches, talks to Britain's manager Jimmy Melia and Manchester United's Ron Atkinson. And with that sporting end to the evening, that's Wednesday night on YTV.
And the first item coming up shortly, Crossroads. And now we're off to the Crossroads Motel, where Joe MacDonald has something to his advantage.
Thank you, Jane. Just leave it there. I'll pour.
You know, I'd do almost anything to keep Adam Chance away from here. Val is still threatening to go to Italy if he comes.
It's no longer if, it's when.
but she won't go.
You think she'll stand by me?
I didn't say that. It's just that she wouldn't give Adam the satisfaction of seeing her turn tail.
Between the two of you, I have been battered into accepting that something must be done about Adam that I wouldn't normally accept.
What?
Well, you know what it is. You are against my buying his shares, and I have been against your buying them, right?
And now you're not against my buying them?
To quote your wife's favorite expression, I didn't say that. No, I'm prepared to accept Barbara's earlier suggestion that we buy his shares jointly and split them up between us.
In just over half an hour, Brian Moore introduces midweek's sports special with coverage of European football from Lisbon and a ringside seat for middleweight boxing. But now, the news from ITN.
Mrs. Thatcher says Tory policy is robust, vigorous. Mr. Foote calls it more of the same and worse. Labour's chairman, Mr. McCluskey, says the unions may have to strike. The Penley lifeboat. Was the inquiry a whitewash? And the Princess gets more than a politician's crowd. Good evening. The Prime Minister said today the Conservative election manifesto is robust and vigorous. She said it often. It includes giving union members the right to vote in secret. And if you still want a postal vote, get in touch with your town hall by midday on Friday. Those who qualify are the disabled, the ill, long-distance lorry drivers, and people who've just moved house. Being on holiday doesn't count. And that's the news tonight. Good night.
London this morning. David Steele, leading the Alliance into the general election, sets off to tour Britain on his battle bus. But the Liberals and the SDP have a long way to go to convince the voters of their claim to government. That's what Alistair Burnett will be discussing with David Steele tomorrow night on TVI at 9:30.
Now the weather, thundery showers will die out and clear periods develop overnight. Tomorrow, mist and fog patches will form around dawn, but it will clear quickly in most places to give a mainly dry morning with some sunny periods. In coastal districts, though, mist and fog may persist. Scattered showers will occur throughout the region in the afternoon, some heavy and thundery, and the maximum temperature will be 55 Fahrenheit on the coast and light easterly winds.
Hello again, and we begin this very last edition of ATV Today with the news headlines. Now, out of hospital after suffering from the Scots based in Birmingham. Large consignments of fresh haggis failed to reach some of the city centre stores today, but tonight it's haggis out of a tin. It isn't quite the same somehow, is it, Bob?
No, a late story, Justin, by the way. We've just heard that ATV reporter John Swallow has been taken to custody by the police. It seems that charges have been laid against him of failing to take anything seriously, having a silly grin, causing confusion and generally taking the mickey. It's understood he faced trial immediately.
Anybody there? Hello? Anybody there? Hello?
Here's the regional weather forecast for New Year's Day. There'll be a widespread frost tonight with minimum temperatures around -3 degrees centigrade. Patches of fog, dense in places, will develop overnight and will be a little slow to clear, especially from Cambridgeshire up to Nottinghamshire and Lincolnshire. Tomorrow daytime will be mostly dry, apart from the chance of an isolated shower over the Cotswolds, with some hazy sunshine and afternoon temperatures about 5 degrees centigrade. So the summary then for tomorrow, mostly dry, hazy sunshine, and the outlook for the weekend, cloudy with rain at times, and temperatures mostly above freezing. And that's the weather forecast for the ATV region. And you know, it's funny that tonight it's the last time I'm going to be saying ATV, because as from now we're central. And it's appropriate that this evening, popping in for a New Year's Eve drink, Shaw Taylor, because Shaw was one of the first announcers with ATV back in the dare I say, the mid-1950s.
Yes, you can, when my hair was almost as silver as yours.
I see. Now, Shaw, are you just a little bit sad this evening that the name ATV is fading out?
Because they were marvellous days. You know, ATV's been very much part of my life over the years. Police 5, 20 years, ATV even longer. And there used to be Jeannie Morton, the announcer here, and Peter Coburn, Arthur Adair. The four of us used to split it up between us. So, yes, I am. I'm very sad to see ATV disappearing. But by the same token, I'm very excited of what Central promises. In other words, the split franchise, new studios in Nottingham, exciting things like that. I should get 2 police fires now, twice as much time. With a bit of luck, we'll catch twice as many villains. And the whole sort of news coverage expanding. It's a very exciting prospect. So I truly do say, I'm sad to see ATV go, but I'm very excited at saying welcome to Central.
Indeed, welcome to Central, and of course the most important thing this evening, Shaw, to everyone at home, a very happy 1982. Happy New Year. New Year's Eve celebrations continue now on independent local radio. There are 3 stations within our area broadcasting through the night: BRMB in Birmingham, Beacon in Wolverhampton, and Trent serving Nottingham. And tonight, Mercia in Coventry and Centre Radio in Leicester are on the air until 1 o'clock. The time now, 32 minutes and 53 seconds past midnight. Have a peaceful night, and I hope you enjoy New Year's Day.
Good morning. This is Central, which provides your programmes on the Midlands transmitters of the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
Welcome to 1982. Welcome to Central, a new name in British television, with a fresh approach to the east and west of this dual region. To begin the new year, let's take a look at some of the programmes we'll be seeing this winter. Breaking away from traditional ideas, there are drama series like Huck and Brass, when Mel Smith plays Tom Craig.
Up to you, Craig. You're pushing your luck, you know that. If you knew why you were talked about, you'd sling your up now. Take the money on those houses, and you can do yourself some good.
After you've had your bit out of it all, I take it. They pay rubbish prices. What do they expect to take rubbish? Money. Money's nothing. It's easy. You can have it. All you want.
You're a crook, Craig. A common crook.
No, you're wrong there, John Roman. I'm not a crook. I just take advantage of it.
Now, we all know Chris Tarrant, and he's responsible, if that's the word, for a new program called OTT. It's a new approach to entertainment, and he seems to be just the right man for the job. That's late-night viewing for all the older kids amongst us. Here on Central, we've got a fresh look to comedy, as you'll see in a new series called Shine On, Harvey Moon.
Who's coughing?
It'll certainly make you laugh, and it may even make you cry, because it's set in post-war Britain and takes a right look at the problems of a recently reunited family. When Harvey comes back from the war, his son thinks he's a hero, but his wife isn't so sure.
This afternoon, she's not very well.
Oh, yeah? And who are you when you're at home?
I'm her husband. I'm at home, so you can...
Now, don't come it with me, chummy. I know there ain't no Mr. Moon.
That's where you're wrong. This is my dad, right? And he's an Air Force hero.
Get indoors, Stanley.
Central is involved in the region, both east and west. For instance, our cameras have been following the daily rounds of policemen to bring you a series called N Division. We'll be hearing what coppers think about their work and how they handle it, from routine cases to demonstrations and detective work.
The world is a world full of sunshine, a world full of make-believe.
And don't think we've forgotten the young people. There are new programs for the tops and the teenagers, to amuse, to stimulate, and to entertain. And yes, the pleasant lunatics from Tiswas are back with Saturday Morning Madness. Our new series about loving relationships, Close Encounter, is, we like to think, a caring study of the people of this region. And Sue J will continue her personal and informative examination of religious and moral issues. A new program about business in the Dual region, Venture, looks at how we work and what we produce. Open-minded programs to make us think, keep us all better informed. A New Year's taste of the kind of programs you'll be seeing on Central. And our team of announcers will always keep you informed of programs to come. This is the symbol that identifies Central. And the specially written new music you're hearing is the music that will open and close Central every day. This is Central. And as we welcome 1982, let's look at some highlights for today's holiday entertainment. This afternoon at 10 to 1, the epic feature film Spartacus, starring Kirk Douglas, Laurence Olivier, and Gene Simmons, in a story of slavery and rebellion in ancient Rome.
One gladiator's worth any 2 Roman soldiers that ever lived.
We beat the Roman guards here, but a Roman army's a different thing. They fight different than we do, too.
We can beat anything they send against us if we really want to.
Spartacus, at 10 to 1 this afternoon. At 6, our Central teams will be bringing you the fastest, freshest, most up-to-date coverage of the day's events from the East and the West. At 7, a seasonal adventure from Jonathan and Jennifer Hart.
Did your horse come in?
Never left the gate. Norman Culp wanted to fill me in about the leak at Hartoy.
Did he have any news for you?
We don't call, lady. We contact. Tough game, tough game.
Damn boys!
Heart to Heart at 7 o'clock, followed by informative family entertainment when we meet Gudrun, the talking whale. Central cameras follow her 4 years of training until she surprised her trainers by volunteering her first whistling remark, and it was none too polite. The Talking Whale at 8 tonight. And here now, your programs for this morning, with our feature film, Digby, the biggest dog in the world, at 9:55. Welcome to 1982. Welcome to Central. And welcome to our morning programs.
A very good...
Hello again, and we begin this very last edition of ATV today with the news headlines. Now, out of hospital after suffering Scots based in Birmingham, large consignments of fresh haggis failed to reach some of the city centre stores today, but tonight it's haggis out of a tin. It isn't quite the same somehow, is it, Bob?
No, a late story, Justin, by the way. We've just heard that ATV reporter John Swallow has been taken into custody by the police. It seems that charges have been laid against him of failing to take anything seriously, having a silly grin, causing confusion and generally taking the mickey. It's understood he'll face trial immediately.
On this, the last day of the year, 981, and at this very moment is the very last edition of the Daybreak. You will hear the charges swallowed. We shall judge you, and they, the viewers, will be our witness. In front of me, I have a charge sheet which dates back to the 1960s when ATV Today first began. The man before us was set loose by this company on an innocent, unsuspecting public. Over the years has created havoc amongst the gentle people of the Midlands.
The first charge is in a day in 1966. You, John Edwards, swallowed an impersonator police officer. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. Only for a bit of fun. Police in those days wore very baggy trousers. They wanted to get them tapered, narrow. Well, I thought, knowing the police...
Second, you've been nothing but a public pest on the waters of our Black Country Canal. I will prove theft and trespass.
Morning up. I've just borrowed this off the back of your boat. Come with it.
Well, for the charge I'll get in the book if that'll be enough.
I'm not going to be poking about. No, I shouldn't poke. Get the poking about that, but you don't down here.
And with any sympathize with it. Now, what's all this? Trying to jump over a canal?
And we in the Black Country Society would like to know if anybody locally can emulate the feat of Joe Darby, can jump across canals, can jump across billiard tables, and can jump passes. We're waiting to find a Black Country champion like Joe Darby. Now, Signor! Faster! Oh, come on, faster! Oh! Don't let the Black Country down! On! On! Come on! Come on! Ready! Ready! Go! Ah!
That was late.
Indeed it was. Now, what we've got? Theft, trespass, the list goes on. Now we have damage in the very factory of Briley Hill, West Midlands, which makes Her Majesty's Cup crystal.
Yes, glass makers by royal appointment. Queen Victoria, God bless her, who thinks she took a tipple in the back of the palace. Well, it was a or not, she must have done. A lovely fluted glass with a gold rim. Her son, a well-known tipper, of course, Edward II, had a much more modern-looking glass, suitably inscribed. Initials, Royal Crown. Many a Scotch would go through that. Edward VIII, a lovely glass. I'll say no more about that one. A very lovely glass. Her Majesty the Queen, the sovereign lady. Not that she takes many gin and tonics, but when she does, she chooses a very fine glass, a beautiful, fluted-looking glass. A glass.
Well, the court just can't take much more of this, you know.
But, there is more, much more. Causing a nuisance on public transport on a date in 1972 involving no less than a civic dignitary. What have you got to say to that?
Well, the civic dignitary stopped everybody eating fish and chips on the top of buses. Everybody eats fish and chips on buses, don't they? Well, that didn't mean any harm at all. Excuse me, ma'am. You see, if we live in a democracy, a free country, why shouldn't we be allowed to eat fish and chips on top of a bus?
Because it happens to be a public transport. People get it from one place to the other. And they certainly don't want fish and chips. If you want to eat fish and chips, there's a fish and chip shop over the road.
Come on. Morning, Linda. Very nice. Thank you very much. What's camping today? Yes. It's I think so. Would you like a chip, Councillor? Would you like a
good
glass of wine?
What's next?
Well, this is a start.
Start of what?
Well, you see, since the corporation agreed that there's nothing wrong in eating fish and chips on a bus, as long as we do it politely, in a gentlemanly manner, I thought I'd try it out. But don't you agree, Councillor?
You're talking much rubbish as the corporation.
Well, I don't make the laws, Councillor, but apparently I'm quite entitled to do this.
Well, I feel sure somewhere that the bylaw to stop all this.
But you haven't found a bylaw, Councillor, have you?
Well, there's a bylaw saying that anything smells or offensive, that should be the bylaw.
What does that smell?
I was come tonight, sir.
A big one?
I was come tonight.
Everything's very nice, thank you very much.
Look at this, do you have to do anything? How about if I wanted to get off jolly quick? Where would that tray go?
Well, I figured out.
You wouldn't go straight on the floor.
Certainly not, Councillor. Would you like a glass of wine? Would you like a chip?
My lord, perhaps what is beginning to emerge from all this is the sheer impertinence of this man as he goes about his daily business. He's in a public sector, yes.
Have you heard about this new book on good manners? No. Enjoying your meal? Right. According to the book, you shouldn't hold your fork like that all your life.
What are you giving away?
I wish I was. Can I ask you a question?
Well, that's a tip.
Are you feeling better?
I am very well, thank you.
Good. How many times a day do you think about sex?
Well, not just content with inflicting yourself on the general public, Swallow. When it comes to animals, you're like a red rag to a bull. Even a donkey.
Steady. You right, you love? Come on.
Well, let's try this hard, John.
Come on. Come on. Come on. God damn it. It's a good sport, this, isn't it?
It is, love. Good job, I'm strong, you ready?
You get going, all right, guys?
Oh, can't you? My head comes this way. Go on.
Wait, whoa. Come on down. Whoa. You know. Like the thing, isn't he? They say they're the best guard dog in the world or something. Absolutely perfectly safe. All right. Oh, get off! Oh, that's enough. Easy. Oh, get off. Get off.
Well, for a change, it looked like they got the better of him, wouldn't you say?
Mrs. Point, my lord, sometimes people do get the better of it, especially when he tries to catch a free drink.
I missed it. I was going to offer me one. I think you might. Could I have a... Do you speak English? No. Oh, I'll have a sherry. Thank you very much. Hey? I thought for a minute you were going to want me a drink. Could I have a glass of sherry? Thank you. Oh, okay. Could I have a glass, Sherry? What do you mean, no? Part of your job is to let people taste it.
Oh, fairly, no. Absolutely.
very glad.
Okay.
I'm very kind of good help.
Salud.
Salud, yes.
Very good.
Well, the way you're going on, young man, you're going to end up in very hot water, you know.
I couldn't agree with you more, Miller. In fact, the man's already been in hot water. The prosecution has proof. Hey. Good Lord.
It's a film star artist. How much are they? The cost should be £100. But for the money for a bar, it's not a lot of money for what you're going to get. What a sensation. Could have a bit more hot in those. If I bring the water in rather hot, and tell me if it's too hot, right? We're going to stimulate a Turkish bath for you, see? Those bubbles will insulate you from the outside air. And with the hot water coming in, you will begin to sweat, don't worry. Feel it mainly on your forehead, you won't feel it in your body. And if you're carrying too much weight, you could lose anything up to 4 pounds with it. I carry no weight, I don't want to lose 4 pounds. Is it good? I beg your pardon? So the bubble's getting a bit high. Oh, don't worry, I'll get a lot higher than that. Come on. Do these things sort of go over your face? Yes, put your head in. Oh, blimey. It's vibrating, this is, you know. There's a lot of people like playing with ducks in the bath, don't they? Rule that out. I really think these bubbles are taking over now, aren't they? Fleetwood? Yes? I can't hear you. You want me to come and have a look at you? Well, can't you see me? Yes. You're all right. As long as you can see me, it's all right. How long are you supposed to spend in this sort of thing? Like it's been 20 minutes to do the world. I think you'll be dead in 20 minutes, wouldn't you?
The man's obviously an idiot.
I find that very affrontive, madam. Very personal indeed.
We'll have time to record, no interruptions follow. Now then.
You're quite right. The man is an idiot and a dangerous one.
Well, let's get back to this charge sheet. What's this? Breaking the speed limit on a tandem with an unknown accomplice on a highway. John Edward Swallow, this court has heard and seen only a mere sample of some of your escapades. Anyone who ought to have anything good to say?
Many, my lord. In my time, television have met many, many friends. Here are just a few. What's the matter with your mouth, love?
Nothing wrong with my mouth. Mine was always thinking.
Does she? Good, Ellie. You must have been quite a girl. Good heavens, whatever the heck, eh? Incredible, isn't it? Thank you, Pardon. You know what? Now what's happening?
Well, that is absolutely amazing.
When you walk past the church, you may hear an organ playing. Of course, when you walk past the church, if you're lucky enough, you may hear the choir singing. And who hasn't walked past the church and heard the bells ringing? When you walk past this church, St Paul's in Leamington Spa, you hear a sound of a very different kind. Vicky, you certainly seem to make those trains seem real, but I can't imagine what the congregation will think about them when one day they hear them for themselves. How do you get people to visualize the actual things that you're making sounds of?
Well, that's quite easy. I just say, let's imagine we're on the back of a motorbike and going down to the railway.
Right, that's the trick then?
Yes. Let's go.
I see. What, on a motorbike? Right.
Ready?
I'm fine, yes.
Hold tight.
Well, Swallow, before we pass sentence, do you have a last request?
My last request would be to hear, once and for all, the beloved ding-dongs of ATV, madam.
John Edward Swallow, it's the decision of this court to give you a chance to go straight as you possibly can. I suggest you must change your company, to which, from midnight tonight, you shall labour under a new symbol, that of Central Independent Television.
Oh. See you tomorrow. Happy New Year. Keep smiling.
Anybody there? Hello? Anybody there? Hello?
Here's the regional weather forecast for New Year's Day. There'll be a widespread frost tonight with minimum temperatures around -3 degrees centigrade. Patches of fog, dense in places, will develop overnight and will be a little slow to clear, especially from Cambridgeshire up to Nottinghamshire and Lincolnshire. Tomorrow daytime will be mostly dry, apart from the chance of an isolated shower over the Cotswolds, with some hazy sunshine and afternoon temperatures about 5 degrees centigrade. So the summary then for tomorrow, mostly dry, hazy sunshine, and the outlook for the weekend, cloudy with rain at times, and temperatures mostly above freezing. And that's the weather forecast for the ATV region. And you know, it's funny that tonight is the last time I'm going to be saying ATV, because as from now, we're Central. And it's appropriate that this evening, popping in for a New Year's Eve drink, Shaw Taylor, because Shaw was one of the first announcers with ATV back in the dare I say, the mid-1950s.
Yes, you can, when my hair was almost as silver as yours.
Michael. Now, Shaw, are you just a little bit sad this evening that the name ATV is fading out?
Because they were marvellous days. ATV has been very much part of my life over the years. Police 5, 20 years, ATV even longer. And there used to be Jeannie Morton's William Mounsey here, and Peter Coburn, Arthur there. The four of us used to split it up between us. So, yes, I am. I'm very sad to see ATV disappearing. But by the same token, I'm very excited of what Central promises. In other words, the split franchise, new studios in Nottingham, exciting things like that. I shall get 2 police files now, twice as much time. With a bit of luck, we'll catch twice as many villains. And the whole sort of news coverage expanding. It's a very exciting prospect, so I truly do say I'm sad to see ATV go, but I'm very excited at saying welcome to Central.
Indeed, welcome to Central, and of course the most important thing this evening, sure, to everyone at home, a very happy 1982. Happy New Year. New Year's Eve celebrations continue now on independent local radio. There are 3 stations within our area broadcasting through the night: BRMB in Birmingham, Beacon in Wolverhampton, and Trent serving Nottingham. And tonight, Mercia in Coventry and Centre Radio in Leicester are on the air until 1 o'clock. The time now, 32 minutes and 53 seconds past midnight. Have a peaceful night, and I hope you enjoy New Year's Day.
Good morning. This is Central, which provides your programs on the Midlands transmitters of the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
Welcome to 1982. Welcome to Central, a new name in British television with a fresh approach to the east and west of this dual region. To begin the new year, let's take a look at some of the programs we'll be seeing this winter. Breaking away from traditional ideas, there are drama series like Muck and Brass, when Mel Smith plays Tom Craig.
You, Craig. You're pushing your luck, you know that. If you knew the way you were talked about, you'd sling your up now. Take the money on those houses, and then you can do yourself some good.
After you've had your bit out of it all, I take it. They pay rubbish prices. What do they expect to get rubbish? Money. Money's nothing. It's easy. You can have it. All you want.
You're a crook, Craig. A common crook.
No, you're wrong there, John Roman. I'm not a crook. I just take advantage of him.
Now, we all know Chris Tarrant, and he's responsible, if that's the word, for a new program called OTT. It's a new approach to entertainment, and he seems to be just the right man for the job. That's late-night viewing for all the older kids amongst us. Here on Central, we've got a fresh look to comedy, as you'll see in a new series called Shine On, Harvey Moon.
Oh, we do it,
It'll certainly make you laugh, and it may even make you cry, because it's set in post-war Britain and takes a wry look at the problems of a recently reunited family. When Harvey comes back from the war, his son thinks he's a hero, but his wife isn't so sure.
This afternoon, she's not very well.
Oh, yeah? And who are you when you're at home?
I'm her husband. I'm at home, so you can...
Now, don't come it with me, chummy. I know there ain't no Mr. Moon.
That's where you're wrong. This is my dad, right? And he's an Air Force hero.
Get indoors.
Central is involved in the region, both east and west. For instance, our cameras have been following the daily rounds of policemen to bring you a series called N Division. We'll be hearing what coppers think about their work and how they handle it, from routine cases to demonstrations and detective work.
The world is a world full of sunshine, a world full of make-believe.
And don't think we've forgotten the young people. There are new programs for the tots and the teenagers to amuse, to stimulate, and to entertain. And yes, the effervescent lunatics from Tiswas are back with Saturday Morning Madness. Our new series about loving relationships, Close Encounters, is, we like to think, a caring study of the people of this region. And Sue J. will continue her personal and informative examination of religious and moral issues. A new program about business in the Dual region, Venture, looks at how we work and what we produce. Open-minded programs to make us think, keep us all better informed. A New Year's taste of the kind of programs you'll be seeing on Central. And our team of announcers will always keep you informed of programs to come. This is the symbol that identifies Central. And the specially written new music you're hearing is the music that will open and close Central every day. This is Central. And as we welcome 1982, let's look at some highlights for today's holiday entertainment. This afternoon at 10 to 1, the epic feature film Spartacus, starring Kirk Douglas, Laurence Olivier, and Gene Simmons, in a story of slavery and rebellion in ancient Rome.
One gladiator's worth any 2 Roman soldiers that ever lived. We beat the Roman guards here, but a Roman army's a different thing. They fight different than we do, too.
We can beat anything they send against us if we really want to.
Spartacus, at 10 to 1 this afternoon. At 6, our Central News teams will be bringing you the fastest, freshest, most up-to-date coverage of the day's events from the East and the West. At 7, a seasonal adventure from Jonathan and Jennifer Hart.
Did your horse come in?
Never left the gate. Norman Culp wanted to fill me in about the leak at Hartoy.
Did he have any news for you?
We don't call, lady. We contact. Tough game. Tough game.
Damn point!
Heart to Heart at 7 o'clock, followed by informative family entertainment when we meet Gudrun, the talking whale. Central cameras follow her 4 years of training until she surprised her trainers by volunteering her first whistling remark, and it was none too polite. The Talking Whale at 8 tonight. And here now, your programs for this morning, with our feature film, Digby, the biggest dog in the world, at 9:55. Welcome to 1982. Welcome to Central. And welcome to our morning program.
A very good...
Just 81 reasons why it has to be ITV this autumn.
Autumn programs next Wednesday night on ITV.
Yes, it's Paul's choir.
Yeah, the spotlight hits you. Yeah. You walk down to the mic.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
Say hello.
You'll be there, grinning away with the rest of them.
I wouldn't dream of doing anything so vulgar for guests.
Hello. I didn't realise, but, well, since I'm here, what did I need to say a few words?
You haven't come here to do anything, have you? I mean, she seemed like a nice old girl to me. Oh, no, that's my landlady.
He really is frightfully good, you know. The most efficient killer that we ever had.
And with Night Watch at 10:30, that's next Wednesday night programs on ITV.
The button to press this autumn is ITV.
Autumn on ITV is the season for the best in drama. there's a major television dramatization of Evelyn Waugh's Brideshead Revisited, starring Jeremy Irons, Anthony Andrews, Diana Quick, and among the many guest stars, Laurence Olivier. New bestsellers.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's gonna change.
Between me and Joan.
We're talking money, Doctor. My money.
It's me, old son.
Oh, yeah, dear.
How are you, Langley?
Will your father agree?
New drama series.
You want to resell it? I'll get Sam to cut it up safely.
I think they've run off together and have to live abroad.
Lydia, oh Lydia. Have you met Lydia? Lydia the tattoo lady.
What a witness to lose.
I'll get you a drink. You look as though you could do with one.
No, thanks. We're here officially.
And where have I heard that before?
I was Stephen's secretary before I was married.
Ah, an old flame.
Oh, yes. Burning us right here.
Tell your friend, should he ever decide to come to London, I shall, of course, be ready to meet him.
Wide-ranging series, plays, and bestsellers mean...
Drama this autumn on ITV.
Take a new look at Saturday night on ATV, where the comedy is punchy and the punchlines are hilarious as Lenny Bennett plays host to the stars. At 7:35, business trips raise some eyebrows in Take a Letter, Mr. Jones.
What sort of a test do you think the secretary should take if she goes as a wife?
Well, I don't think spelling would be too important.
Speed and accuracy might be an advantage.
We're going to knock over a casino.
Dan Tanner planning a heist with a difference in Vegas at 8:05.
I love you, Julia.
Vanessa Redgrave and Jane Fonda star in a true story of ideals and loyalty, tested by the violence of pre-war Europe. Our Saturday cinema at 9:15 is the award-winning film. Programs for exciting entertainment. Saturday night on ATV.
Tonight at 7 o'clock, we take a trip to Emmerdale Farm.
Well, these are our programmes for tonight on ATV, with some changes to the advertised programmes, with cards right at 8, WKRP in Cincinnati at 8:30, and Kindig at 10:30. Tonight on ATV, Bruce Forsyth and Lady Luck deal the winning hands in Play Your Cards Right. And the fun continues when Johnny asks Bailey to a rock concert. It's the crazy world of radio in WKRP in Cincinnati. Then a group of youngsters try some highwayman's tactics on a tourist coach and find it very profitable. A case for the Intercity Police Squad, Strangers. Highlights from our Friday night lineup with some changes to our advertised billing, programmed tonight on ATV.
Sunday night is packed with entertainment in a program lineup that looks like this. Tonight on ATV, Bruce Forsyth deals out the aces in the cards and the comedy as two more married couples play your cards right. But Maggie Forbes plays it safe when she receives a sinister threat, the first of a new series of The Gentle Touch, starring Jill Gascoigne. And following that, there's a brand new series called Going Out. A group of teenagers face up to a luckless future 6 weeks after leaving school. And that's 2 new series to add to an exciting look to the lineup of entertainment here tonight on ATV.
What's up? Nothing. I can see there is. What is it? Come on. It's just tonight. I mean, I won't... What? Well, birds and things. I mean, Roger pulls 2 of them at a time. Roger's all mouth.
Do you, come here often?
Why, are you going to ask for a dance or something?
No, I was just wondering, you know. Nice face like yours.
You're a silly boy, Roger.
What?
Sniffing where he shouldn't be, that's why.
Don't know about that, but I know that Agnes is teaming up for him.
Well, I hope he teaches the Randy sort of lesson.
No.
Why?
I don't want to.
I want to cue him.
No.
Going, our brand new series begins tonight at 10:30 on ATV.
Good morning. This is ATV, which provides your programs on the Midlands transmitters of the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
Two programmes for Wednesday night. Witchcraft in the Modern West makes The Devil's Reign our midweek film at 11:40, part of tomorrow night's entertainment.
Tonight on ATV, the entertainment comes in a grand way when we meet the biggest and beefiest who compete for the title of the world's strongest man. Then it's Cowboys for Comedy, with Roy Kinnear as a bungling builder whose patchwork plumbing brings havoc to a hospital ward. In episode 9 of Brideshead Revisited, Charles plunges into an affair. It means love for Julia, but the end of a marriage for Celia. And that's all in this great lineup of entertainment tonight on ATV.
Programs for an entertaining Christmas on ITV. From Bruce Forsyth, it's nice to see you.
I promise I will not move you from here. I will not that the earrings have just opened. Just stay in the middle and you'll be fine there. Here we go.
What are you doing here? Looking for shells?
No, I'm just looking.
Hey, where you are.
Dr. No stars Ursula Andress and Sean Connery.
I promise I won't steal your shells.
I promise you won't either.
And in a Christmas game for a laugh...
I've given myself a turn. One of my turns. You know, it's the run-up to Christmas. We're just having a little rest now, but we've been very busy. We've been dashing around Britain, keeping an eye on you.
John Buchan's classic thriller, The 39 Steps, involves Robert Powell in a story of murder and espionage.
What do you know of the 39 Steps?
And with a few steps of their own, Morecambe and Wise. Alvin Stardust joins Eric Ardern in their Christmas special. And in their second film, Regan and Carter of the Sweeney are back in action.
If the girl dies, there'll be an investigation. Carter will have some explaining to do.
And what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the goodies. Programs from an entertaining Christmas season here on ITV. Christmas on ITV. Films for the festive season.
Oh, thank you very much. Hey, we're all going to Hollywood. You want to come with us?
Hollywood? Whoa!
That's strange. You just ran away. Well, moving right along, Fuzzy.
Harry's explode, Harry. What are we going to do now?
No, don't!
Huh?
Don't, Harry, no!
What are you doing here? Looking for shells?
No, I'm just looking.
You still don't recognize me, do you, Bob Cratchit?
Yes. No. Your Father Christmas?
No.
What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say? What do you know of the 39 Steps?
I have 27 hours. You have 3 minutes. Do what? To live.
Where are you going? Hello, Parson. Welcome to hell.
I've never seen so many dead people.
They were shooting at us and we were shooting at them.
A man appears after 15 years. Says run away with me.
Don't do it. Oh, please, don't kill her. Who are you people?
Have you recently had a close encounter?
Une rencontre plutôt inhabituelle.
Close encounter with something very unusual. Who are you people?
Films for the festive season this Christmas here on ITV.
Now it's 5:45. Time for the latest national and international news from ITN.
Two programs this Wednesday night on ITV. At 8, the Morecambe and Wise Show. Eric and Ert's Christmas special.
Morecambe, Eric. Bald-headed middle-aged bit player. Who never quite made it. Studied method acting under Barbara Woodhouse.
At 9, The Princess You Think You Know is seen in a new light. In an exclusive film, Princess Anne talks about her working life. What does she think of her work, her image in the press, the future of her family? And how does she fit a busy schedule around her family life? Princess Anne, Her Working Life follows the Morecambe and Wise Christmas show this Wednesday night here on ITV.
But now back to tonight, and in half an hour, Coronation Street. And it looks like being far from a Merry Christmas for Fred G. unless Eunice returns. We'll find out how he fares at 7:30. Right now, Bullseye.
Christmas Eve viewing on ITV. At 8, A London Night Out with Tom O'Connor and Basil Brush.
Who said this? Get down off your horse and drink your milk.
John Wayne.
No, that's Princess Anne talking to Mark Phillips.
At 9, Albert Finney stars as Ebenezer Scrooge in the musical version of A Christmas Carol. Then at 5 o'clock, a special look behind the scenes at how the Muppets are made. And at 7:15, we welcome back the goodies with our Christmas special.
Stand up.
A great weekend of family entertainment this Christmas on ITV.
A very Merry Christmas and a very good morning to you. Well, Christmas almost turned out to be white, didn't it? But not quite. And would you believe the weather forecast today is sunshine? Well, there's certainly sunshine around ATV. In our
Hijack is your Christmas Tales of the Unexpected tonight at 9:15 on ITV.
And don't forget.
Welcome to Central, the exciting new name in television, with a fresh approach to comedy, like Dead Ernest, prematurely sent to heaven.
Well, you suit yourself, mate, but I'd not like to be stood here with no pyjamas on holding a bottle of champagne when they shout my name. I wouldn't.
Comedy, that's Dead Ernest. And programs from Central that care. Parents and teenagers talking frankly about their relationships and attitudes. Provocative stories from around the world as Central cameras focus on East 103rd Street in Harlem, where half of one family is addicted to heroin. For young people, fresh programs, new ideas, like Murphy's Mob.
So, Mr. Jones,
reformed characters, right? No trouble. I'll see you in my office, Murphy, in half an hour.
Variety, entertainment, a fresh approach to evening viewing, and a break from traditional ideas in drama too, in Muck and Brass.
There's a lot of people only in this town, Cyril. You're one of them.
A fresh approach to your television entertainment. Welcome to Central.
Tomorrow evening at 10:15, we go on the road with Freddie Starr to find out what life is like for him behind the stage. That's tomorrow night at 10:15. Now we're going to the movies in the company of our old friend, Clive James.
Welcome to Central. Welcome to adventurous viewing. Late night, the best in feature films, with big stars and powerful stories. Venture, a new series to reflect the industry of our region. And late night jazz and blues. Welcome to a look back at classic mystery stories and favorite characters. Accept our invitation to terror with the most frightening of horror mysteries. And welcome to a fresh approach to afternoons with series like Hagen and new programs to amuse and stimulate young people. Sport from around the region featuring specially in Friday's Central News. Programs that bring you offbeat drama and comedy. And Central's provocative documentaries ranging the wide and sometimes disturbing world to keep you better informed. Welcome to drama that breaks free from traditional formulas. Welcome to Muck and Brass. Welcome to adventurous viewing. Welcome to Central. Welcome to Central. News and events in the fastest, freshest and most up-to-date picture of the east and west of the region. Central News, responding to each part of the dual region with early evening coverage of events and the latest news as it breaks. Personalities, stories, plus bulletins midday and late night. Extended on Mondays for current affairs and background stories. On Fridays for the sporting life of the region's two areas. Welcome to Central News.
Good morning, this is Central, providing your programs on the Midlands transmitters of the Independent Broadcasting Authority. Join us for these great programmes for entertainment for Friday night on Central. And of course, before all of those programmes, we've got Central News starting at 6 o'clock with details of what's happening in the region and sports news as well. Now, though, it's time for us to join Joe Brown and a new edition of Square One. Well, thank you very much, Gary. Still to come this afternoon, jaywalking at 4 o'clock, and Sue J will be meeting evangelist David Watson. 4:30, our film is Captain America, but next this afternoon we continue with our serial, and that's coming up in Watch It after the break.
We'll be here to read the epilogue. At exactly 20 past midnight, it's time now to go back to the second half of OTT Smile. Of OTT.
Cloudy and misty in all parts overnight with patchy fog and a little drizzle in places. Tomorrow will be cloudy and misty with further drizzle at times. Temperatures rising to... That brings us to the end of our programmes here on Central. Thank you very much for being with us. From me, Stuart White, and the rest of the staff, we look forward to your company tomorrow. Until then, from all of us, good night.